Hi everyone. Uh, as similar to like what all of you have been doing, I have been spending a lot of time with the large learning models, especially the one that we all have come to like so much, which is ChatGPT. And as you all know, these large learning language models are based on large quantities of text and documents, and that is used as the training data. And because of that, they can perform a lot of tasks which are related to natural language processing. And one of them, which is what we are finding very useful, is this conversational capability of having a conversation similar to as if we were talking to an expert. So the best way to kind of evaluate these models is to test them out with use cases, because obviously these models are not free of their shortcomings and drawbacks, and in fact blindly trusting the output of these models could basically basically cause problems and issues, because a lot of times the results are not completely accurate. And so what I did basically, I wanted to test the power of ChatGPT related to my field of analytics. More recently, I've been, I was spending time in Tableau, which I do quite a bit. I love creating visualizations out of Tableau for building business stories out of it. So what I did is I thought I'm going to test out ChatGPT for a simple use case. I was trying to work with this HR related data where I had the hiring date and the date of birth of employees, and as we know, a very simple derived feature from this kind of raw data could be an age of an employee or a tenure of an employee. So I thought that I'm going to use ChatGPT to write the code for calculating this new field in Tableau. So this is what I did. Basically, first I kind of wrote my own rough code and I gave it to ChatGPT, and I said that this is my code, which basically tells that if the date of birth is less than today, then tell me in years what is the difference between the date of birth and the date which is today, and that would basically give the age of an employee. So ChatGPT said that that code looks correct, and it also basically it kind of pointed me to another direction to say that in a situation where the date of birth is not in a date format, then I should use date parse function in Tableau, which will convert the date of birth into a date format and then check the difference in years with today's date, and hence otherwise it will give me a value of missing. Okay, so I did that, and then basically I tried out this code, and in my situation it actually gave me an error. So basically what I said is that if date of birth is less than equal to today's date, then give me the difference in years between date of birth and today, else missing. And I had an idea about why am I getting this error, but I just wanted to test what ChatGPT would do in such a situation. And what ChatGPT rightly pointed me out to say is that the output of the if statement, which is a comparison between date of birth and today, and based on that, when I kind of do the date diff function, I get a number which is an integer, which is the number of years between the date of birth and today's date. And my else statement is basically giving me a string as an output. So there's a mismatch between the output from the then statement and else statement, which is an error. So it suggested me that I could just use an indicative integer value as an output from the else statement of my if then else, and that was perfectly fine and fixed my problem. So then I went on ahead and I basically gave a little bit more of a little less simpler situation to ChatGPT, and I said that can you calculate tenure of employees in years. And I told ChatGPT that for people who are still currently employed, the termination date is missing for those people, and use that information to correctly give me the tenure for those who are employed and for those who have terminated. And here's what ChatGPT gave me. It said that if the date of termination is null, then then you give me the difference between the date of hire and today's date, because that means these people are still employed, and that's going to give me their current tenure. And in case the date of hire is populated, which means that somebody has terminated, then rightly so, this date difference statement will give me the tenure of those who have already left. Okay, and that was good. Then I wanted to add a nuance to ChatGPT. I wanted to continue that conversation, and I basically said that, can you modify the above code to check for instances where the date of hire is erroneously greater than the date of termination? And it did exactly that. So it kind of went with an if else statement, where it checks for the first whether the date of termination is null, and in that case it just tells me the tenure of people who are still employed. Then it checks for situations where the date of termination is not null, so meaning these people who have left, and in these situations it says that the date of hire should be less than equal to date of employees of termination, and in any other situation it would give me a value of -1. So this is what I did to ChatGPT, and and it's pretty impressive. I mean, this is a simple example, and for most of the people who work with Tableau, we write our own code when we are creating new variables in Tableau, and it was just nice to kind of see that this kind of interaction with ChatGPT in a very conversational style can reduce the time and effort that it takes to write new code and to create new variables. So this one definitely ChatGPT has successfully delivered on this use case.